Welcome to the Circuit of the Americas, a state-of-the-art facility built in the heart of the Lone Star State. Today, we take a car which, back in 1967, was a cutting-edge machine, the Lotus 49. Welcome to Grand Prix Legends, live here on the Global Sim Racing channel. I'm Peter Mackay, and I am privileged to be joined in the booth by the better half of Double Scotch, Ryan Walker. Behind the scenes is our director, Sean Ambrose, using camera angles perfected by Dougie Beard. Now, like everything in Texas, this facility is vast, so we need to get over to our GSRC track guide to tell you all about it.
Welcome to Circuit of the Americas. The cliche of everything's bigger in Texas rings true for this track in the Lone Star State. Built specifically for Formula One, the number of corners, circuit length, safety features, and general track amenities immediately set this place apart from almost every racing course in the United States. Of the three layouts available, the most widely used is the Grand Prix circuit, which tops out at a whopping 20 turns along nearly 3.5 miles. Many of them have been modeled after well-known sections of European tracks such as Silverstone, Hockenheim, and Istanbul. But compared to those venues, this place still has lots of unique challenges. Turn 1 in particular features the largest elevation change from the lap and culminates in a blind and sharp hairpin. The penultimate corner is just as tough, with its off-camber apex and sudden drop forcing many to escape to the paved runoff on the outside. And though it was meant to lure F1, many other series have now raced here, ranging from IndyCar to WEC, IMSA, and even V8 supercars. Track days are also common, with the SCCA running all types of amateur events to allow up-and-coming drivers to feel what it's like to battle on the same tarmac as Vettel and Hamilton have. With this track, American race fans finally get to experience a purpose-built course made in the modern day. Texas went bigger and better, and in the process, raised the bar for their peers.
There you are then. There's a little bit more about this fantastic facility here in Texas. Brian, welcome back to our regular Saturday spot here for Double Scotch on the Global Sim Racing channel. I know you always come with a few fun facts about the circuit. What can you tell our listeners and viewers about the Circuit of the Americas?
Yeah, this 3.4 mile track was built and then opened in 2012, and it's hosted a range of series, it's quite a lot, but I'll try and keep it short. It's hosted the V8 supercars. It's famous for hosting the Formula One Grand Prix here as well, and also the Blanc Pain America series, and also the FIA WEC and some SCCA stuff as well. So the nature of the track is long sweeping corners. You've got long straights, and you've got that twisty section after turn 1, and with regards to passing places, you've probably got or the best chance you've got is probably into turn 1 or turn 11 or turn 12. But also another thing for the drivers to watch out for, especially in the SE section, is those big sausage curbs. If you take them the wrong way or take too much, that can be car damaging, or even at worst race ending. So it's a factor these drivers will have to look out for.
Certainly is indeed, and as the one thing about the Circuit of the Americas is it's as the Dixie Chicks said, wide open spaces. There's plenty of room to let these full Grand Prix machines roam. So we are heading towards the end of the Grand Prix Legends season. So why don't we take a look at the championship standings? So at the moment, in the Formula One Championship, well, Rafael Dorado has got it all sewn up. He's able to enjoy the last couple of races of the season, comfortable in the knowledge that he is the Grand Prix Legends season champion. Mick Claridge had, a champion's performance of his own last week at the Nürburgring Nordschleife, and currently sits in second place in the championship despite missing a couple of rounds. Yuri Geisen sits in third with Rob Olenek fourth and Bill Tyler fifth. Ryan, how's the F2 championship looking?
Yeah, so the F2 championship at the moment is pretty much being led by Japan's Toko Hasada. He's pretty much in command at the moment, and just needs to finish his race and finish next week. And basically at the moment he's got the championship wrapped up, but he just needs to have a good result today to make sure he's definitely got it in the bag. But second place is John Olsen from the United States, with Germany's Andrea Scheiwacker in third. John Van Dorn from Holland in 4th, and rounding out the top 5 is Dave Colin from the United States.
Speaking of the Nations Cup is now led narrowly by the United Kingdom, who have gone past Brazil and sit just 11 points in the lead right now. So with the UK over Brazil. United States aren't too far behind, 55 points back for the United States in 3rd, with Finland 4th and the Netherlands in 5th. Now, today is the 11th, the penultimate round of the season. And a reminder, next week, we go to the Global Sim Racing channel exclusively. This will be the last race broadcast on the iRacing Esports Network. Just 17 laps today of this very wide, vast circuit here at the Circuit of the Americas. And as always here in the Grand Prix Legends series, the drivers have the ability to tweak the setup however they please. And this is a circuit which is perhaps not what you would initially think for this car. So those drivers who have put in the most practice this week to tune those setups will surely benefit. So we are in the middle of qualifying right now, and we look at, I think this is Yuri Geisen on track in this wonderful pink and white machine with the blue cap and black peak. And it's of course it's a long way around here, Ryan, so you've got to make sure that these qualifying laps count.
Yeah, absolutely. This Kota is one of those tracks that you want to try and basically optimize your qualifying lap and make sure it's as good as possible. And I think, unlike other tracks this season, with regards to track positioning and qualifying being a key, I don't think it'll be as much of a factor as possible, because you've got some long straights, the home straight and this back straight that Yuri's on now. If you can stay in the draft, you're basically off. And Yuri had a good result at the Nordschleife last week, finishing in 5th place, I believe, from judging from my research that I'd done before the broadcast. So yeah, he's been improving as the season goes on, Yuri, and at the moment it looks to be he's on a pretty decent lap at the moment.
Yeah, looks like it. Yeah, I think that's going to be a key spot. The run out of the slow corner of turn 11 all the way down the back straight and then into turn 12. Of course, we've had Jamie Fluke come to join us on the Grand Prix Legends series a couple of times this season, and he commented on how long the braking distance is for this car. Of course, it's an old school racing car built in the 1960s, so braking technology was very much primitive at that stage. So there's going to be great opportunities for moves on the brakes going into turn 12. But let's get Yuri over the line. Let's see what he can do. He sets a 2:04.112. So Yuri sitting in 8th right now.
Yep, just watching Dave Cohen at the moment, and he's coming across or coming around to the final corner, and it looks like his lap time will probably be something like a 2:08 or 2:09. 2:09. It's 2:09.3, and puts him into 22nd at the moment.
Okay, so at the moment, Mick Claridge sitting on pole position by 0.6 of a second from Rafael Dorado. So hopefully today, Ryan, we're going to see the battle between Claridge and Dorado that we were perhaps a little bit, shall we say, it was a wee bit sort of snatched away from us at the Nordschleife with that unfortunate incident early in the race taking out Rafael Dorado.
Yeah, that was unfortunate, because that was a great race, like you say. It was a great race, or it was shaping up to be a great race between Claridge and also Michel Dunillon. And unfortunately, Rafael Dorado, he was closing in on the two of them, and unfortunately, Dunillon had an incident, and Dorado just had no time to react or anywhere to go. But hopefully today, Rafael can get some redemption, and with him being champion, it's pretty much for him anyway, just gloves off.
Absolutely, yeah. We're going to see a no-holds-barred fight, aren't we? It's going to be great. So Osmar Schultz comes over the line, a 2:07.442 for him. He sits 19th. Chris Kamikaze Murakami coming over the line now, a 2:05.7, so he doesn't improve on his time. Mick Claridge, does he improve? No, he does not. So Colin Bentley, who ran very well in the Motegi Oval race, comes around the final corner, gasses it up, opens up that big, naturally aspirated Cosworth DFV V8. What does he do? Oh, so Ovi Trengeride improved his time as well. 3rd fastest for the Scandinavian speedster. Overcome the line comes Yuri Geisen. Does he improve? No, he does not. Oh, but a good improvement there from Andrew Eng. A personal best for him goes up to 22nd position. What can Dave Cohn do, Ryan?
Yeah, just watching Colin now, and he's coming round to the final corner, and looks like he's on a pretty decent lap. I would probably say he might be able to just get into the 2:08. He comes up to the line now, and it looks like a 2:08.4. So that puts him up into 23rd.
Yep, it's a personal best. Oh, no, look at this now. I can get on board with this. A Jägermeister car, done good. In the number 27, is it a Jäger? Oh, no, it's not. I thought it was a Jägermeister. It's certainly a Jägermeister orange. But in fact, I think of those Don's furry friends on the side. Yes, there are all kinds of furry friends on the side of that car. But that's us done, Ryan. So let's go to the grid and see how they line up for this Grand Prix Legends event here at the Circuit of Americas in Texas. On pole position, Mick Claridge with a 2:01.7, just edging out his rival Rafael Dorado. Row 2 will see Ovi Trengerade and Rob Bolanek. Row 3 will be Alessandro Parigi and Sebastian Tizier. Row 4 will see Andrew Schumacher alongside Yuri Geisen, and Colin Bentley will start 9th with Chris Murakami in 10th. Ryan.
Starting in 11th is Lars Olsen, with John Olsen alongside him in 12th. We've got Finland's Jan Lehmann in 13th with Emmanuel Pereira in 14th. Chris Hendler in 15th with Michael Gringsinger in 16th. 17th is Randy Hall. 18th is Heidiki Koivisto. 19th is Osmar Schultz. And rounding out the 20 is Eugenio Massa.
Rounding out the last of our runners then is Andreas Bruno, Andrew Eng, Dave Cohen, Peter Yevkoski, Frederick Larson, Gary Anderson, Don Good, and Robert Reynolds. I wonder if that's the Gary Anderson of Formula One fame. Probably not. Probably not. So we wait for our drivers to all line up. Now, is that a new paint scheme I see for Rafael Dorado, Ryan?
Yeah, I was just about to say, it looks very, very different, and a change from the valve wheeling livery he's running, and if it's a new livery, I'm digging the colours. Oh, he changed it last week, actually.
Ah, okay. So new livery for Rafael Dorado. I have to say, I forgot he changed it that last week. But as we run over here in Dougie Beard's drone, going past the all these different. Oh, a good Ferrari replica there as well. Very nice there at the back of the pack. So we're just about ready to go here at the Circuit of Americas, and this is brilliant to see this amazing classic car on this modern circuit. Lights are up, and we are off here in Texas. Go, go, go. Up towards turn 1 they go. Mick Claridge has got the inside line critically. Dorado looks to the outside, thinks better of it, and they get through cleanly. It's always a bottleneck here. Drivers are going to be super careful, and oh, we've got somebody over on the roof there. Oh, a few. Oh, goodness me, there's a bit of carnage up at the back, but crucially, the leaders are getting away. Claridge, followed by Dorado, followed by Trengerade in third.
Yeah, it's pretty much been it's up at the front anyway. It's been a clean start. Everyone's kept it clean and not hit any trouble. But that bottleneck effect into turn 1 further back in the pack was just unfortunate. But it's just the nature of COTA, especially in turn 1, due to the nature of the corner, and you're slowing up so much.
Yeah, it's always a hot spot for action. We see a lot of action there when the MotoGP Championship come here at the beginning of their season. You'll see a lot of riders going for big moves up there and sometimes losing the front. But here we go then, on to the big drag strip of a back straight here. And this is where the drivers are really vulnerable to a drafting maneuver and then a very, very long braking zone here. Look at, there's a few drivers ducking out to try and make the moves by. We've got a spinner in the background at the at turn 12. Can't quite tell who that is, but we'll come back to it. So Mick Claridge leads with Dorado right behind. It looks like, Ryan, we're going to get this duel after all.
Yeah, absolutely. Dorado is absolutely hounding Mick Claridge at the moment, and also not too far behind these guys. We've got Rob Olenek actually in third place now, who gained a position from Ovi Trengrade, and the top 4 have just pulled away from the rest of the pack. But that car, it was spun around in that second hairpin, you could say, was basically, I think it was Sebastian Tizier.
Oh, shame for Tissier. Yep, we can confirm that is the case. Let's get a replay of Tissier's little tizzy, shall we say, coming down into turn 12. Okay, here we go. He's already turned around and he's lost the nose. Look at the damage there on the front of Tissier's Lotus 49. So his day is more or less done. He gets a tow back to pit lane. So let's go back. Let's have a look then. Here we go. We're coming down into the hairpin now. What happened with Tissier? Here we go. No, it's okay. Number 4. Let's have a look then. Car number 4, Sebastien Tissier. Let's see. Coming down into the braking zone here. Gets very late on the brakes. Oh, and he tries to back out of it. And oh, you could see what he was trying to do there, Ryan. He was desperately trying to not take anybody out and try to pull it down, but just missed his braking marker. Yeah,
absolutely. It just looks like he might have just maybe just braked too hard and the rear just snapped. But back up to the front, these two guys are going at it, but they're slowly but surely being joined by, like I say, Rob Allnick and Rory Trengrade. So it could be, we could have a 4-car party if you like.
Absolutely, yeah. It looks like we do. This is going to be shaping up to be a real cracker, and I have to say I'm a big fan of this new Rafael Dorado livery. It's almost got the bit of the gold leaf Lotus sort of layout about it, which of course was the first ever commercial sponsorship in Formula 1 gold leaf Lotus on this very car as well. So a little bit of Grand Prix history there as well. So Mick Claridge leads though in the yellow and black number 3 machine, and of course this is a circuit where if you're in a car with high aerodynamic grip, Ryan, you can really stretch the limits of that particular vehicle. But aerodynamics is not something we ever talk about with the Lotus 49 because it doesn't have any. So here it's just all about dancing it on the limit of grip and using. Oh, Trengrade nearly loses it. Well spotted. I bet that got his attention.
Yeah, absolutely. And that, what was it? Rafael Dorado closes right up on the brake and on the back of Mick Claridge into turn 1. But yeah, these cars don't have any aerodynamic downforce at all. So it's basically you've got to be. I guess it's kind of like an old school V8 super open wheel version of a V8 supercar. If you like, you kind of you've not got any aids to help you like traction control or ABS. It's more down to the driver just having to replace it and just having to be smooth. As Rob Allnick sets the fastest lap of the race so far.
Yeah, Rob Allnick's right on the case. Well, he has definitely put a tiger. He's put a tiger on his bodywork. I think he's put a tiger in his tank today as well. Has Rob Allnick. He's right on the case. Of course, this is although Rob Allnick from the east coast of the United States. This is certainly his home Grand Prix and country-wise anyway. And he's right there. He's going to get a good old draft here down the back straight, right up the gearbox, opening up all 400 horsepower of this Cosworth DFV V8, and oh, symphony down the back straight here, down towards turn 12, hard on the brakes. Dorado's squirreling around. Oh, I tell you what there, Ryan, you're just hoping that you just don't think the car is going to stop, because the braking ability of this car is so basic compared to its straight line performance. It certainly has no problem accelerating, but decelerating is not its forte.
Yeah, absolutely not. It's one of those cars that if you overdrive it or basically try and brake as late as possible or brake too hard, it'll snap on you and it'll bite you. And unfortunately, like we saw with Sebastien Tissier, he was the unfortunate one to find it out. But Rafael Dorado, I think at the moment, is looking to be, looks like the quicker driver out of him, Mick Claridge. But like you said before, Rob Allnick is just waiting in the wings. If either of these two slip up, he'll be there to pick up pieces.
Yeah, Rob Allnick's looking pretty handy, and Trengrade's starting to recover as well after that little moment. Maybe just brought a little bit back. So we're riding on board with Rob Allnick, and look at this, just hard on the brakes, tucking it into the apex, beautifully neat and tidy there from Rob Allnick, right up to 10,000 RPM, up the gearbox, and this is where it's really tricky because the car doesn't really want to turn. Gonna try and get the diff to work for you here. Watch out for those. Be careful. You've got to be so careful on those triangular anti-cut curbs, or whatever you want to call them. They look like landmines more than anything here at Kosan. That just makes. God, it takes your breath, doesn't it?
Yeah, it doesn't want to take my breath. It made me twitch a little bit.
Yeah, of course, the those are, even to a pretty modern race car, those curbs can be very damaging to the suspension if hit the wrong way. And, well, these cars, well, you've probably got more resistant chocolate than the suspension on these cars, because they don't need an awful lot to get upset. But look at this. Talking of upset, here comes Rafael Dorado. He's in the draft of Mick Claridge. He's going to have a look on the brakes. Oh, it's such a long brake. He stops it. Oh, I think he didn't have a choice to go for it. Pinch the brake. It just shows you how much brake pressure they've still got on at the apex there, Ryan, to get that lock up. And here goes Olenek. Oh, opportunist Olenek. Round the outside he goes. Round does he go? Can he make it stick? Oh, good respect and room there from Dorado. Has he given him too much respect? Yes, there goes Olenek. So now we're going to see, has Olenek got the pace to chase down Claridge? But Claridge is looking in his mirror now going, oh, this is fantastic. I shall just scamper away with these guys, battling one another. Oh, be careful.
Oh, that was so close. I think Rafael Dorado, I think he just let himself slip up there, and unfortunately Rob Olenek was there to take advantage and gain a place. But I think Rafael Dorado, he was given respect, but I think he was given too much respect in a way.
Yep, absolutely. You've got to race with a real margin here in these cars, open wheel cars, and if just the slightest contact can end the race. But I think lap 4, mark it, because I think that could be a critical moment in this motor race, Ryan, because Mick Claridge, you give him an inch, he will take a mile. And that is exactly what's happened. It just takes a couple of corners for Olenek and Dorado to duel with one another, and two things have happened. They've let Mick Claridge get away, and they might not catch him again. And look at Ovi Trengerade. He is right back in the mix.
Absolutely. I'm just looking further back. We've got a battle for 7th place going on at the moment between Yuri Geisen, Chris Marikami, and also it looks like Colin Bentley.
Yeah,
and also Long Charleston as well.
Yep, so it's a good battle here in the midfield. Yuri Geisen, Chris Kamikaze Murakami in the red and white paint scheme there, which is obviously very fondly talked about here on the broadcast always. Lap 5 of this motor race, and well, it's Mick Claridge, really his return to the Lotus 49 Grand Prix Legend Series has been pretty much a happy one. However, his return at Motegi on the oval that wasn't so kind to him, unfortunately caught up in an incident earlier on, and that really hampered his progress, or it stopped his progress completely. Oh, here we go, Ryan. Cosworth DFV cam. Dougie Beard's Cosworth DFV cam. My favourite camera.
Yeah, absolutely. I was just about to say, do you need some tissues to wipe up your mouth while you drove with us?
I brought some especially, Ryan. Yes, thank you for thinking of me though.
Absolutely, riding on board with from this view as well. I have to admit, it is my favourite as well. And just watching the heat haze as well, it's just, I love this effect that iRacing brought to it. And Mick Claridge as well sets the fastest lap of the race, and he's got about a 1.3 second lead. But around this track, if you can stay in the draft, especially on the back straight, you could close that down a little bit, as Rob Olenek, as quick as he was, has not been able to capitalise on that gap.
Nope, he hasn't, and I think this is where Claridge has really got a ball. It's no surprise that he put in the fastest lap there, because, well, he knows the opportunity that he's got in front of him now to try and, like you said, Ryan, break that draft on the back straight, because that draft is worth a good couple of tenths there across the back straight alone. So if he can break away from that, then he can use his pace on the rest of the circuit to break away even more. Olenek, he's got to worry about Dorado behind him, because Dorado's right on his case. You can see there, Olenek in second, Dorado third, and Trengeridge not out of this either. He's still very much in the game. But look at this, if you look at the car in third in the shot there, you see Rafael Dorado, look, he just climbed a little bit a bit later on the brakes as well. Olenek goes onto the curb on the braking to give himself a better entry. And yep, Mick Claridge, he's not pulling away though, really, Ryan. These guys are so evenly matched on pace.
Absolutely, he's not pulling away, but he's not being caught at the same time. So he's kind of, the gap's just staying steady where it is at the moment. And it probably helps that it's because of Olenek and Dorado scrapping amongst themselves. and it's allowing Claris just to maintain that pace, maintain the gap, and they're doing a good job at the moment as we're just about to come to the end of lap 6, and the next time by we'll have about 10 laps remaining, I believe.
That's correct. Yep, that is indeed right. So they round the go then through turn 20. This is just an extraordinary facility here at the Circuit of the Americas. Of course, and a lot of the design, the great Kevin Schwantz, former Grand Prix motorcycle world champion for Suzuki, for Lucky Strike Suzuki. He was heavily involved. He's a Texan himself, heavily involved with the design of this circuit, and I can imagine this opening S's on a Grand Prix motorcycle, just flicking it back and forth, must be so satisfying. So we're looking at Colin Bentley here, who's getting his elbows right out there, and Murakami pulls over to the side there quite abruptly, coming out of turn 1 as they come into the S's themselves, and brilliant little battle going on here between Murakami, Bentley, and Yuri Geisen is at the back there. Laust Olsen not out of it either in that yellow and blue car just at the back of shot, but big slide there from Murakami. And interesting here, Ryan, you watch these drivers, a lot of them using quite differing lines through this opening snaking S section.
Yeah, it seems to be some of these drivers are using, like you say, different lines. It seems to, I think it's just kind of like a personal preference or comfort thing, just whatever line you're comfortable with. I was watching behind Murakami as well. Yuri Geisen got the run on Colin Bentley and just about ran into the back of him, and then it looks like Yuri's going to have a run on Bentley, head down the back straight, it's closing in on the slipstream. I think heading down to this left-hander here, I think he's going to get the move done. It's going to be close.
Here he comes in, Yuri Geisen. He's got the move almost. He's side by side going into the braking zone. Oh, he has to just readjust the brake there and modulate the brake, and that's killed his exit. And there goes Bentley. Bentley gets an absolute four-wheel drive traction-esque exit out of the hairpin there, but Geisen switches around to reclaim the spot once more, and meanwhile Murakami is escaping, and look at that, that just brings Laust Olsen back into it. So the momentum on this circuit is so important, Ryan, particularly in these cars, because you just don't have any aero grip at all to kind of get yourself out of trouble. You've got, if you lose that momentum, you've got to work harder than ever to get it built back up again.
Yeah, absolutely. See, some of these, some of these corners are basically momentum corners, just try and keep up the speed. And Yuri Geisen just about got a retake, or basically repassed by Colin Bentley, but he's managed to keep the position as he head down to turn 1, and Murakami runs wide in turn 1 and gets sideways.
Big mistake there from Murakami on the brakes. You just saw that big puff of smoke there. That's the brake locking up, and effectively the wheel becomes solid and scrapes along the tarmac, and no, it is not good for the tyre at all to do that. You don't want to do it too many times, but the braking performance is, the braking modulation is so difficult in this car. It just shows you how difficult it must have been in period, whereas nowadays, you can imagine a modern day version of the modern Grand Prix car here, Ryan. The braking distances are so short, and the big carbon brakes, huge aerodynamics. I mean, it must be a pretty aggressive experience slowing down a modern day Grand Prix car.
Yeah, and I did some laps offline with this car as well during the week, just to see what this track was like with this car, and I have to say, when I first started doing laps with this car, I kept braking late just because I thought I could, and it was just because I was used to racing high downforce cars. But with this car, your braking distance is a lot longer, and if you brake too much, it'll snap on you.
Indeed. Contact! Murakami's been punted there by Yuri Geisen. And I hope maybe Murakami's got a bit of damage. He's wiggling around. We'll keep a close eye on him. So let's have another look at that, of what happened there between Geisen. It looked like Geisen got a bit better exit than he maybe expected. Murakami just makes a slight mistake on the entry. The back end gets loose, and that checks him up into Yuri Geisen. So certainly not intentional, but these guys really finding it difficult in the technical parts of the circuit. Lots of locked up brakes. Look at that, Yuri Geisen goes wide. Now, is he letting Murakami back by again? I think he might well be, but Laust Olsen's going to think, I could get a double bubble here.
Yeah, absolutely. Kind of like a two for the price of one move, and Lars Olsen, I think he was trying to make a move there, maybe just showing the Marikami he was there, but yeah, that was I don't know, from what I saw, I don't know if Marikami might have clipped that anti-cut as well, possibly.
Quite possibly, yep. So let's look at Rafael Dorado, who is now starting to lose touch a little bit with Rob Olenek. There's a bit of a gap appearing, and Rob Olenek has been dropped by Mick Claridge as well. So this is interesting stuff. Now Dorado has got to worry about Trengarade. He's now defending the last spot on the podium, and Trengarade is now revived. He's got over that little mistake earlier on, and he's starting to put some serious pressure on Dorado. Another puff of smoke there as well. So there's just drivers just locking up the brakes here, there, and everywhere. Olenek, big lock up there, and it seems to be this particular sort of stadium section around turn 13, 14, 15, 16 that really seem to be giving the drivers a lot of headaches, Ryan.
Yeah, it's very difficult this section of this car because you're going fast, and then all of a sudden you're having to slow down really quickly, and also in a way some of these drivers like to trail brake as well, so braking and turning at the same time might be causing some of these lockups quite possibly.
Could be, yep, absolutely. Actually, it's amazing how when you're seeing the lockup really late in the corner, almost at the apex, which shows you, as you said, Ryan, how much they're trailing the brake into the bend. So 8 laps to go here at the Circuit of the Americas, not far out of Austin in the Lone Star State. So Mick Claridge, what a performance this has been. We saw him dominate the Nürburgring Nordschleife last week, and a very different challenge here this week, but a very similar result. Brilliant stuff from Mick, and maybe a story of what might have been if he didn't have to miss those couple of rounds. We could have been seeing a real battle to the last part of the championship with Dorado.
Yeah, quite possibly. I mean, Mick Claridge, he's always been quick with his car, but he's just unfortunately he's had to miss a couple of rounds due to other commitments, as he clips that anti-cut ever so slightly in the hairpin, but gets away with it. As further back in the pack, we've got the battle for P11 going on as well between Emmanuel Pereira and it looks like Finland's at Jan Lehmann as well.
Yeah, we see Emmanuel Pereira here in the flying fruit pastel ice lolly with green, yellow and red paint scheme there. Certainly nice and easy for us to spot out on the track with Jan Lehmann in the slightly more conservatively painted red and black, almost Team Advan colours behind there as well. So let's ride on board with Jan Lehmann and we'll get another impression of what it's like around here at the Circuit of the Americas. Just watching for that little anti-cut curve there, coming around turn 11 and then onto the straight up the gearbox. You see those Smith styles, the little needle just flicking, dancing back and forward off the limiter on up into the next gear, right to the top of 5th. It's straining, can't take any more. Back down the gearbox, not rushing it too much, tucking it in, and mistake there from Pereira. Big steering input there from Lehmann, and actually Pereira got away with that one. Ryan, looked like Lehmann had to back out of it.
Yep, and it looks like Pereira might have just he might just locked up slightly by the looks of it, and this time around as well, fastest lap goes to Ove Trengrade from Norway, so Trengrade's starting to get a bit of a move on.
Yep, he certainly is, and next up is Rafael Dorado. There's about a 7/10 of a second gap between them right now, but Dorado, he's lost touch with Olenek, who's now a second up the road. Claridge is gone. So yeah, it's definitely a podium battle between Dorado and Trengrade at this point as well. Tell you what, it is quite fitting that we have Lotuses out here on the Circuit of Americas today, Ryan, because actually when the circuit was opened on the 21st of October 2012, Mario Andretti, of course, America's most famous Formula One champion, ran some demo laps in a Lotus 79, a car which came out about 10 years after this one.
Absolutely, and also I remember Alexander Rossi, who was, I believe, a reserve driver for I can't remember if they were called Lotus or Caterham at the time, doing a few demo laps in a Lotus 49 as well.
Very good. So, let's have a look here then. Now, this is interesting. Olenek has dropped back quite considerably into the clutches of Rafael Dorado and Ovi Trengerade. So now, all of a sudden, we've got a... Oh, you just see... I cannot get over here, Ryan, just how these guys are on such a high level. They're not guys you see making mistakes, but it's unbelievable how they're really having to battle away with little lockups here and there in that really technical section.
Yeah, that's excuse me, they're still getting away with it as well, and it just shows you these guys are absolutely on the limit as Dorado drops back a little bit from Olenek and is under pressure from the Trengerade behind. So it looks like Trengrade's got a great exit on the final corner, and he's got the run on Dorado. Can you try and get him moved on into turn 1?
Yeah, these drivers, their tyres are going to be like 50 pence pieces by the end of the by the end of the race. But Trengrade's still holding. Sorry, my apologies. Olenek still holding on to second. Dorado third, and Trengrade in fourth as they come through the S's right now. Really tricky section, and Mick Clara, as you can see there, he's a little bit further up the snake. He's heading towards the head of the snake, and big oversteer there from Olenek. Looks like he's pushing on.
Absolutely, and I was just watching in the background as well. I was watching Trengrade, and he clipped one of the anti-curbs ever so slightly, and I won't deny it, I kind of flinched a little bit as soon as he touched them, because that was so close to being possible car damage or suspension damage, but luckily he managed to get away with it, and Olenek has pulled away ever so slightly from Dorado, and these guys pretty much just checking their lap times, they're so close on pace.
They're so evenly matched, it's incredible. But down you go, down the back straight, this is where it can make the difference. Dorado is in the draft of Rob Olenek. Can he make a move? He goes to the inside. Will he let the brake off onto the... Oh, I tell you what, Olenek gave him plenty of... He opened the door and then he said, oh, no, you don't want it? Okay. And then shut it in his face again. Wow. So, another lockup. Goodness me, this is extraordinary here. You see how much these guys are pushing. You just look at that again. Olenek, massive lockup there. That's got to damage the tyre, surely. But he still manages to keep Dorado behind. And of course, if you're the car following Ryan and you see a big puff of smoke, you know that the car in front is locking up. But how do you get by? That's the tricky part.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's when someone's locking up in front of you and they're having to slow up so much, it's kind of one of those things. You don't want to run into the back of someone, but it also compromises your exit because you're having to slow up a lot more than the person in front of you.
Yeah, indeed. So 5 laps to go here then at the Circuit of the Americas. At the moment it is Mick Claridge with the fastest lap of the race, only marginally. In fact, I tell a lie, it's Ovi Trengerade right now, very marginally, and there's just nothing to separate these guys as it currently stands. But we've lost Ovi Trengerade. What has happened to him, Ryan?
Yeah, I was just watching behind as well, and it looks like he might have just he went into turn 1 and just, I think he was getting back on the power. He just got a little bit sideways, and yeah, he's lost touch a little bit to Dorado and Olenek in front of him.
I take a look at my timing. I just looked at my timing screen and then back again, and it changes once more. So Ovi Trengerade has got it all to do. 5 laps to go, about 10 minutes or so. So it's going to be a big effort from Ovi Trengerade. So let's look at Pereira again, who is still locked in this battle with Janne Lehmann. And let's run on board with Janne Lehmann, or we're riding on the nose cone here, really looking at that suspension travel. Now you'll get a good impression here if you go through the curbs smoothly. You see the suspension not too fast at all, but go over one of those curbs and the car will get very upset very quickly. But I tell you what, this is a great exhibition in smooth driving. Janne Lehmann, this is silky smooth style, Jim Clark-esque perhaps.
Yeah, and the Finns have always been known for having good car control, and this proves it. And heading into the hairpin now, and Pereira gets sideways. Can this give Lehmann a chance to get a run on him?
Pereira, he should go and buy a lottery ticket after this, because he has got away with 2 massive moments now. I thought that surely Lehmann would have got by him there, but here he goes. He's going to try and get the run on him now. Is he going to have a big look on the brakes? He's certainly got the momentum. Be careful. Pereira is having mistakes here, there and everywhere, but Lehmann's going to have a look now. Pereira opens the door and then closes it. He's going to try for the switch back. Pereira. I think he might just have lost it, but then there's just a point where you can dive up the inside here. Oh, big lock up there from Yanni Lehmann. Oh, has to drop out of it again, and Pereira still holds on.
I'm amazed that Pereira managed to hold on to that position, and it looked like Lehmann had the move done, but tried to hold it on the outside. Unfortunately, locked up, and Pereira just took the advantage and took the place back. And fantastic racing between these two guys.
That's a part of the section where you're just it's so tight and twisty that you really need good respect from the drivers, but also the vision of the drivers is really important as well. You'll see some drivers in their simulation rig, they'll have a triple screen up to give more of a peripheral vision. Some will even use a virtual reality headset, but if you're on a single screen, you've really got to know your kind of spatial awareness there, because it makes it a lot more difficult. But Rob Olenek still leads from Rafael Dorado for second position. Trengerud has been dropped after that little mistake, but another lock up from Olenek, and Dorado. Dorado's just trying to think, where on earth can I get past Rob? And then maybe perhaps doing his study for the last couple of laps, Ryan.
It's possible as Rob Olenek gets sideways when he brakes, and Rafael Dorado has to back up big time, and Rafael Dorado, I think, will be getting very frustrated because I think he knows he can get by, but it's just a case of where can I get by, get the move done. And he sees that Rob Olenek's locking up, but he's still holding on to that place. And also with these cars as well, you can make adjustments to like front and rear anti-roll bars. So if Rob's struggling with locking up, he could maybe try softening up the anti-roll bar, maybe.
There you are. Ryan Yoda Walker there with all the setup tips so down they go towards, or up they go I should say, up to turn one. A very steep climb there on the brakes, over the crest of the hill, and then down again, dropping down really quick down here. But Olenek's still holding on, but I think Dorado's really starting to turn the vice, to squeeze the pressure on Rob Olenek, and he's looming large in the mirrors right now, and you just see the road. I love that there, how sideways the cars get out of the final part of the S's there. Rob Olenek throwing it all out there. 3 laps to go here in Texas, in this duel in the desert. Who's it going to be? Is it going to be Olenek? Is it going to be Dorado for second place? No, Mick Claridge, he's just got to stroke it home from here. There he is. Past some lap traffic here now. Is Dorado? He's got a good exit there. So can Dorado make the move down into the turn 12?
He's getting closer in the slipstream. He's getting closer and closer, but I don't know if he's close enough to make a move. He's getting closer as he head down, and Rob Olenek goes to the inside to defend, but he's left the gap open, and Rafael Dorado is taking the opportunity. Can he get the braking done? He runs wide. Contact!
It was a bit inevitable there, wasn't it? But side-by-side contact there between Dorado and Olenek, and Olenek is back through again. Dorado had the inside line, but just couldn't quite get the move sealed up. Now, is Dorado going to have another dive here? This is so difficult. The car doesn't want to turn at slow speed very well. So, it's going to be 2 to go when they go over the stripe. But Dorado, that signalled his intent, could we say, right?
Yep, absolutely. And look who's joined the battle again. It's the Norwegian Ove Trengerud, who was basically too far back, but now he's close right back up, and both of these guys and waiting in the wings.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, that's certainly brought Ove Trengerud back into the reckoning. 2 to go then. Here, about 4 minutes or so to go here at the Circuit of the Americas. Olenek hard on the brakes with Dorado. I thought Dorado might have maybe pulled a little surprise there, but they come through into the S's. Dorado right on the gearbox of Olenek, but we know, we kind of almost know where the move has got to be, Ryan, isn't it? That it's by far the best opportunity down into turn 12, but we've seen a few drivers, run into a few issues trying to make that move stick.
Yeah, like we saw with Dorado, he ran wide, he locked up, and just couldn't get the car slowed down in time. But I think if Dorado gets a great exit on the exit of this hairpin, he could try and get the move done. But yeah, just watching them now, it will be interesting to watch.
Well, indeed. We'll move on to turn 11. 11. Nice wide entry. Lock up from Olenek. That could be massive. Lock up from Trengerade as well. Now, Dorado will have seen that. He would have got that puff of smoke in his visor. Down they go then towards turn 12. Claridge there at the front of shot. He's gone. So, can Dorado make this move? I don't think he's going to be close enough. No, he's not. But does Olenek get it held up? Yes, just about. So if Dorado wants to make that move, I think it's going to have to be on the last lap. But will he make a little surprise maneuver here into the stadium section?
I mean, it's possible you can try and make a move here, but it requires a bit of bravery. And Olenek is just a little bit of smoke, just a slight lock-up. But Rafael Dorado is getting a lot closer as he comes round this long right-hand corner. And I think Dorado, you never know, he might try and make a bit of a sneaky move into turn 1.
Yep, let's see where he's, like you say, that might be the surprise move. Maybe that's what Dorado's been planning the whole time, the wily fox that he is. Let's see, round turn 20, they go back on the power to take the white flag, signalling the final lap of this race. And look at that. Obi Trengerid's not too far behind. He might be there to pick up, and look at that straight away, Ryan. Olenek obviously thought it was on. Olenek straight away goes to defend the inside line. And able to, and of course you can kind of do that without losing a great deal of time. You can almost turn the hairpin into a bit of a V corner, I suppose. Yeah, you can. Sometimes you can try and maybe take a wide entry and maybe try and square it off and get a good run. But I think Dorado's running out of opportunities to get the move done on Olenek. I think the only opportunity he's got left is if he gets a great run on the exit of the hairpin onto this back straight and gets the slipstream. Yep, let's see then. Let's see how this is going to play out then. Down towards turn 11. This exit here, very, very important. Olenek, does he lock up a little just at the exit? Still got a lot of brake pressure there on at the apex, but down we go, down this drag strip here in Texas. And Dorado's got a bit of a run, but does he have a good enough run? Will Olenek go to the inside line early? Here he goes. Yes, he does. So Dorado's going to have to hang it around the outside and then go for the switchback at the next corner at turn 13. Oh, Olenek, a little bit. Oh, and he gets a tap. Oh, no. Dorado gets a tap from Trengerade. Now, I did not expect that one, Ryan. Yeah, that was unfortunate. I think Trengerade just maybe just slightly got caught out and got tagged Dorado, but I think Trengarade's given the position back as we cut to Mick Claridge now. Yep, so Mick Claridge then, it's been another exhibition drive from Quick Mick Claridge in the number 3 car here. The yellow and black Lotus 49. He weaves back and forth, takes turn 20 for the final time. And Mick Claridge is your winner here in Texas at the Circuit of the Americas. And whoa, talk about a stylish finish. There we go. Rob Olenek comes home second, holding off that battle there from Rafael Dorado, who takes third, and Ove Trengerade. Oh, okay, so Ove took third. Let's have a look at what happened. Okay, before we do, let's look at Emmanuel Pereira, who's he's made a mistake. Is that going to allow Lehman to go by? He's just got by Janne Lehman, so he's going to take 9th spot after what has been a very, very long race-long battle really between these two guys. But Emmanuel Pereira has somehow kept Janne Lehman behind him. But what a dramatic finish to the race there, Ryan. Oh, that was unbelievable. And so let's get Emmanuel Pereira over the line then. Never done till it's done. P9 then for the Frenchman. Round he goes. And that confirms 9th spot. So let's see if we can get a look at what happened there at the last spot. So Janne Lehman right behind. And then they come down into turn 12. Lehman takes a big lunge down the inside. Pereira goes very, very wide round. Oh, a bit of contact there, and they bounce off each other. And I tell you what, Pereira is lucky to get away with that one. Yeah, it was. And amazingly, I'm surprised that he never got any body or suspension damage. I believe we're just about to go to the replay of the Ove Trengerade Dorado incident. So let's see what happens here. So Dorado's on the outside. Olenek's gone defensive. He's already got the corner. And just comes down to the apex. And Trengerade just taps Dorado at the last moment. Kind of a racing incident there, Ryan. It can happen. We're going to take a very short break here on the Global Sim Racing channel. We will be right back with official results and driver interviews. Do not go anywhere. Welcome back to the Circuit of the Americas, where Mick Claridge has put on an exhibition performance to win the penultimate round of the Grand Prix Legends series. So here you go then, confirmation that Rob Olenek just 5.5 seconds off the back of Mick Claridge, but holds off Ovi Trengerade and Rafael Dorado, who misses out on the podium after a race-long battle. Alessandro Parigi quietly takes himself to a brilliant top 5 position. Andrew Schumacher 6th with Colin Bentley 7th. Yuri Geisen was 8th with Laust Olsen 9th, and Emmanuel Pereira holding off Yanni Lehmann for 11th spot. Ryan.
Finishing in 11th was Chris Marikami with Michael Grindsinger in 12th. 13th was John Olsen with Chris Henley in 14th. Andrew Egan in 15th. 16th was Yanni Lehmann. 17th was Dave Cohen. Peter Wojcicki in 18th. Don Good in 19th. And rounded at the 20 was Randy Hoff.
And finally, our last runners who didn't finish on the lead lap: Osmar Schultz, Robert Reynolds, Gary Anderson, Hideki Kavisto, Eugenie Massa, Frederick Larson, Andres Bruno, and Sebastian Tizier, who had that earlier incident. But we have our race winner, Quick Mick Claridge, here to join us in the Global Sim Racing channel commentary box. Mick Claridge, that was a clinic. How did that one feel?
Oh, hi guys. Can you hear me okay?
We can.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, it wasn't really a clinic, to be honest with you. It was a pretty rough drive from me, really. I just got away because the guys behind were battling. You saw how close it was when Rafael was on me there. So trust me, if he'd have been on me all race, I would have been as messy as those guys, because they would have been a messy, to see the gap go up like that. So yeah, no, it wasn't a really good drive for me. It was more of just those guys getting caught up in their own battle, and give me the gap.
I'm now going to call you modest Mickey Claridge now. Now, one thing, Mick, that I noticed all the way through the broadcast was coming out at the end of the back straight, coming out of turn 12 into that kind of really twisty technical sort of stadium section. We saw a lot of drivers locking up there all the time. Did you tell us about that? Give us the driver's perspective of the challenge. It seemed to be affecting everybody.
Sorry, I don't know where you're talking about. Is it just after the back straight you're saying?
Yeah, just after the back straight, there's that just like left, right, really, really slow speeds, first, second gear stuff, and you saw a lot of drivers pinching the brake and the puff of smoke coming up from the tire. I don't know if you experienced the same issue.
No, I didn't really get that. I think maybe what it is due to setup because the cars are quite stiffly sprung here. Really, not so much stiffly sprung, but people have got quite a lot of roll bar in the car. So when you're hitting the brake and turning at the same time, the chassis won't let it won't twist as much as it needs to, and you'll lose that inside wheel. So maybe it was a bit of that going on.
That makes total sense. Now, of course, we lost you for a couple of rounds. Are you enjoying being back in the series?
Yeah, it's great to be back, but I'm going to miss the last round as well. So that's really annoying. I really wanted to be there for last week at Bathurst. It's going to be a really good battle. Jamie's coming back for that race, and it's just going to be a fight. So yeah, I'm annoyed. I'm going to miss that. But we got obviously the next season comes up 2 weeks after that. So and we got Monza combined for week 1. So everyone watching this one, you got to watch week 1 for next season because it's just going to be insane.
I like the sound of that. Well, Mickey, we really do look forward to welcoming you back next season. Congratulations on a great win today and at the Nürburgring last week. And we'll speak to you again very soon.
Yeah, cheers, Peter. Thanks a lot, mate. Thanks, guys.
So why don't we get our second place man in, Rob Olenek, who is with Ryan Walker.
Yeah, Rob Olenek finishing in second place after that fantastic battle between him, Ove Trengrade, and Rafael Dorado. Rob, you managed to come out on top and finish in second place, but that battle between you, Rafael, and Ove was absolutely fantastic to watch. How was it for you?
It was great. I think that was my first kind of race-long battle with Raf, and I was driving kind of crappy, and I don't know, like I felt good midweek, and then something I guess up in my head has messed me up the second half of the week where it's just not right. I've been struggling with getting the setup just right. Make one little tweak and it's awful, and the other way it understeers too much. And but it was a great race. I didn't see what happened with Raf. I don't know if he got a little bump. I don't think it was with me. I didn't feel it. On the, I don't know, maybe 3 laps before that, he came down the inside at the end of the back straight, and I tried to come back underneath him, and we touched. After that, I had weird suspension steering damage, and I was doing everything in the world I could do to keep him behind me at that point because the car was doing funny things under braking. But I got lucky to keep second after that.
Yeah, we saw a few times as well where, excuse me, at the end of the back straight, that twisty section in the last sector, but you were struggling a little bit with locking up the left front. Was that something to do with brake bias or anti-roll bar, or was it just...
Definitely. It definitely was. I ended up going with the setup that was a little stiffer and safer, and it understeered a little more through there. With just a couple little tweaks, and all of a sudden the rear's coming around on you in other spots. So I was trying to find a balance, and that section I had to give some up and deal with it so I wasn't spinning in other spots of the track.
And looking ahead to next week at Bathurst for the final round, are you looking forward to it?
I love Bathurst. That is, I think it's probably my favorite track of all the tracks. It's kind of a mix of a really fast street course on top. Then it's got these nice long straights. It ends up, it's in the 49. It's interesting. It's actually really hard to make a pass. I've had battles with people there that my pace might be a little quicker than theirs, but it's really hard to get it done there. I don't know if that's turn 1, turn 2 probably is what it's called at the end of the first long straight. You just can't hold the outside. It's so even if you can get up beside the guy, it's just an awful line on the outside there. And then, coming down through whatever it's called, the kink, that little kink creates a problem. And the 49 doesn't have tons of grip where you need the whole track there in the 49. So you got to get a little lucky and hope the guy makes a mistake there, but that you're racing against. But I can't wait for that one. But this is the best car there too, though. It's just so much fun going up through the mountain there.
Great stuff. Well, again, congratulations on second place, Rob, and yeah, great battle between you, Ove, and Rafael, and we'll look forward to seeing you on track next week at Bathurst for the final round.
Yeah, see you guys. And I forgot to say congrats to Mick and Raf and Ove too. That was awesome. So I'll see you guys next week.
See you, Rob. As that was second place finisher Rob Olnick joining us, and I believe up next, Peter, you've got Rafael Dorado with you.
I do indeed, Rafael. Well, that was a crazy race there between you and Ove, and also with Rob. Tell us about it.
Yeah, for sure. That was the craziest race of the season so far. Probably the longest battle we had this season. I had this season, at least, me and Rob and Ove. It was very fun, very technical, almost like a chess match, and trying to figure out what your opponent weakness is and what the strength is. Unfortunately, I didn't get pole. I did a really good lap. In this track, it's very important to get pole if you want to win, because it's very, very difficult to overtake here, because this track is technical, and even though the track is wide, for some reason the overtaking opportunities don't present themselves as easily as I expected. So this is something that I really need to work on for the following races, try to improve my racecraft, because I think I had the pace to fight with the win for Mick, but then when I started fighting with Rob, Mick just pulled a gap that was too big for me.
Yeah, and tell us lastly, Rafael, tell us about the final lap. About the what happened between you and Ove. Was it just a bit of a racing incident, or was there maybe make a little mistake and that got Ove into the back of you? Tell us what your perspective on it was.
Yeah, I tried to get a good run on Rob to get second place. That was my goal. But I knew that with Rob covering the inside was going to be very difficult. So I tried to do an over-under, which means slowing down a little bit more on the outside to try to get a better exit and overtake Rob that way. And I think that caught Ove off guard. He didn't expect me to take that line, probably. And we touched, unfortunately. But, it's racing, it happens. After that, Ove let me go for a while. He probably didn't knew that, but I had the suspension was damaged and I could barely drive. And then I couldn't keep the car online for the last few corners.
I see. Well, thank you so much for giving us the insight from the driver's seat, Raf. Congratulations on another good, strong finish in fourth place, and looking forward to seeing you next week at Bathurst.
All right. Thank you for the broadcast, guys.
So that was Rafael Dorado, our fourth placed finisher. That is all that we have time for today on the Global Sim Racing channel. And please do not forget that this is the final week that the Grand Prix Legends series will be broadcast on the iRacing esports network. From next week, you can get the access to the Grand Prix Legends series exclusively here on the Global Sim Racing channel. A huge thank you must go to the companies that provide the software and the hardware for our broadcasts, and you can find them listed here on your screen. An additional thanks go to June Lalonde, who provides all of our wonderful music. Again, on the screen, check out how you can get a hold of more of her great work. A big thank you to Ryan, Sean, and Dougie for their fantastic work on today's broadcast, as always. If you'd like to find out more about us here at the Global Sim Racing channel, including upcoming races, check out our website, globalsimracingchannel.com. Or you can go on our social media, our Twitter at GSR Channel, Facebook, Global Sim Racing Channel, and Instagram at GSRC_gram. You can even represent us at the track with some GSRC merchandise, which is available at gsrc.storeenvy.com. Don't forget to head on over to our YouTube page and hit that big red subscribe button as well, so that you never miss a moment here on the Global Sim Racing channel. Until next time, race clean, race hard, and we'll see you on the track.